In this Game of Thrones theory video, I will give you 100% proof that the death of Daenerys Targaryen coming at the hands of Jon Snow was foreshadowed in Brans' vision. What's the deal, YouTube? Teflon in the building with another Game of Thrones series video. And since the series has ended, we have gotten a lot of answers to the questions that we've wanted. Now, some people may not like these answers, and some people seem to love these answers. But whatever side of the fence you're on, we have gotten a lot of answers. And I'm going to show you in this video 100% proof of how Brans Visions predicted Daenerys Targaryen's death, why she would be killed, and who would kill her. Now, there's a few things we do not know. Like, we do not know what the Night King's true identity truly is. We do not know who the Night King is. And in the Blood Moon prequel, where they finally explain that. Now, before we go crazy about this title, it's just a working title, Blood Moon. And we're going to get into all that. But before I do, if you can, please hit that thumbs up. We're trying to get 500 likes before 24 hours to trigger the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe and click that bell so you can be notified when I drop a new Game of Thrones video. Now, when it comes to this Game of Thrones prequel and its working title, Blood Moon, I would not get so worked over it, my people. I would not take it so seriously, because these working titles usually do not become the name of the movies when it's all said and done. Let me give you a few examples. The Return of the Jedi, the working title for that was Blue Harvest. The Titanic, the working title for that was Planet Ice. The Dark Knight, the working title for that, Roy's First Kiss. Pulp Fiction, the working title for that was Black Mass. So as you can see, a lot of these working titles do not become the actual title for the show. I'm not saying that's going to happen this time, but I'm saying in the past we have seen and have just showed you that these working titles are just that. Working titles, something that they can use before they come up and preview the real title. So I'm not going to do analysis on what a blood moon is. I'm not going to break down what blood moon means. I'm not going to do anything like that. Let's find out exactly what this title truly is, and when we do, then we'll talk more about it. But dealing with the Night King, is it possible that the Night King was after Daenerys Targaryen all along? Will we see that the Night King itself was just a weapon by the children of the forest, or should we say the White Walkers, to kill all of the Targaryen people? Is that what it was truly about? Is that what we're going to find out in this new Game of Thrones prequel? And I think we can have some hints, or we do get some hints, in the Game of Thrones TV show. And we can go through Brans' vision right now, and I think we may be able to get some hints from it. Now, this vision flashes a whole lot of pictures really fast across the screen, and it's kind of hard to see exactly what they're showing, but when you break it down and you slow it down, and we're going to do that, take it one picture at a time, and I'm going to tell you exactly how this spells out the end game for Game of Thrones. And I think it also points in a direction that says that the White Walkers were here to kill Daenerys Targaryen. That's what the whole purpose of them coming back was for, but they didn't really go into that in this show. But I think they're going to go into it in the prequel. So that's what we're going to talk about real quick, and I'm going to break down these visions for you. Now, the first set of pictures in this vision are to show you or to tell you that King's Landing is going to be burnt down by a dragon. It doesn't say who's going to do the burning, but it's definitely letting you know that King's Landing will be destroyed and burnt down by a dragon. We see the pyromancers putting wildfire where? In King's Landing. We see the dragon flying overhead. Where is he flying overhead? From this picture and the next, we know that he's flying overhead in King's Landing. And then we see the Mad King saying, burn them all, talking about the people of King's Landing. So when you put all four of these things together, the pyromancers being in King's Landing, the dragons flying over top King's Landing, and then the Mad King saying burn them all, that's what this group was, to let you know that King's Landing would be burnt down by a dragon. The next set of pictures we are shown to us to show us the awakening of Bran Stark's powers. That's what they're trying to say, that his powers here were born at the time that he fell out of the window. Now we see the Night King raising his arms, and what does he do? He raises whites. He brings them back from the dead. He awakens them, and then we see Bran Stark falling out of the window, and that awakened his power. So that's what they're trying to tell us here by showing us the Night King raising his arms, which he raises the white, which he awakens the whites or reawakens them, and then Bran Stark falling from the tower. That is how he was awakened. That's how he got his powers. So that's what the next thing is trying to show us, the connection between the Night King and Bran and how their powers were all woke up. The next set of pictures show us exactly who is going to burn down King's Landing. When you look at these pictures in order, you can see exactly how they were going to show you, or they tried to show you, who was the person that was going to be responsible for burning down King's Landing. Now we know who did it, so maybe it's a little bit easier to see, but this is how they broke it down. We see Catelyn getting killed. That is Bran's mother. That's what that means. We see the dragon flying overhead King's Landing. Again, the same picture of the dragon flying overhead King's Landing that we've seen before. And then we see the dragon's mother right there in the last shot. So that's how they all link up. We see Bran's mother being killed. Then we see the dragons flying overhead in King's Landing, and then we see the dragon's mother right there, which is Daenerys Targaryen, showing that Daenerys would be the one to burn down King's Landing when it was all said and done. Now the next shot is the Night King making White Walkers, which is really interesting because it comes after the fact that they showed who was going to be the person to burn down King's Landing. Now, was it that the Night King and the White Walkers, were they trying to prevent this burning from happening? Were they trying to stop Daenerys Targaryen because they knew exactly what Daenerys Targaryen would become? And the person who would know that would be Brandon Bloodraven Rivers, who I believe is the Night King, and it will be shown that he is the Night King in the prequel. And in this prequel, I think we will find out once and for all what the Night King and the White Walkers were truly after. And I think that's the downfall of the Targaryens, who enslaved people back in the day, the Valyrians, with their dragon. Now these next group of pictures shows us Daenerys Targaryen's death. It shows us who is going to kill her, and it also shows us exactly why she's going to have to be killed. As I said, we have seen the series, so it may be a little bit easier to pick up on now, but if not, I'm going to break it down for you right now so you can see exactly how Daenerys died, why she died, and that Bran has been given this vision by Bloodraven. Now the first thing that we are shown is wildfire by the pyromancers. Why do they show us wildfire by the pyromancers? Because this is what the Mad King wanted to use to burn down King's Landing. So the next thing that we see after that is the image of the Mad King sitting on the Iron Throne. And we've seen that Daenerys made contact with the Iron Throne itself. The next vision we see after that is Jaime Lannister about to stab the Mad King. Why did he want to stab the Mad King? Because the Mad King wanted to burn down all the King's Landing with the wildfire. He did not have dragons like Daenerys Targaryen, so he was just going to use the wildfire. The next thing we are shown is the person who's going to have to play the modern day Jaime and kill the Mad Queen. And they do that by showing us a picture of Ned Stark young at the Tower of Joy where Jon Snow was born. And then we see his sister in the bed of blood, which is followed up by Jaime Lannister stabbing the Mad King. So when you put all those pictures together, it shows you exactly who and why Daenerys Targaryen is going to be killed and that's exactly what it's supposed to show. And then the last picture they show just cements it. They show Robb Stark being stabbed by Roose Bolton. And what does that have to do with anything? Robb Stark was betrayed by Roose Bolton. That's why he got stabbed, and that's what Jon did to Daenerys. He betrayed Daenerys and he killed her. So that's how all those pictures break down the death of Daenerys Targaryen. But as always, you gotta let me know. Do you think I'm right or do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I broke down this vision perfectly and that's exactly what they were trying to show? Or do you think it's something else? And if you want me to do more breakdowns of Brans Visions because it shows other things in here, let me know in the comment section. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.